Ito ang 106.3 Dance Radio. Dance Radio.
Prepare yourself.
Ang silid-aralan sa radyo, hatid namin ay makabagong paraan ng pagtuturo at kalaman. Mapaumaga, tanghali o hapon man yan. Ang istasyong magbibigay impormasyon kahit saan man.
For something big.
Alright, here we go.
106.3 Dance Radio. Doña Aurora National High School, Santa Rita, Aurora, Isabela.
This
106.3 DWDR FM. Pre-calculus, advanced algebra, intermediate algebra, trigonometry, elementary algebra, geometry. Mga aring dapat tuklasin. Mathematics Learning Area. Mathematics kahit saan, kahit kailan. Mathematics, maaasahan, inyong tututukan dito sa 106.3 DWDR FM. Basta Dance Radio, learning is amazing.
Hi! Hello! Namiss ko naman dito sa booth. Yeah. Happy Thursday afternoon, everyone! Today is January 6, 2022. At syempre, napakaswerte ang taon na ito. Congratulations! Kay Sir Joshel! Okay. Ang saya ng taon, 2022.
Word of the day, B.
Yes, B. This year is a chance for a fresh start. We are so proud of everything you accomplished last year, 2021. And for that, congratulations and good job, our dear learners.
Yes, and as we pursue our hopes and dreams, may this year bring us much success and may our journey be wonderful. Happy first episode of Math 10 live streaming for this year, 2022. We would like to welcome you to Math Alive sa Facebook Live!
I am teacher Marife Guillermo.
And I am teacher Marilyn Juliano.
And we are your hosts for today.
It's mathematics time, my dear grade 10 learners.
And so please, what are you going to prepare? Kindly get now your learning activity sheets and join us till the end of this episode.
That's right. With that, we would like to welcome our grade 10 learners from 10 Rutherford, 10 Einstein, 10 Mendeleev, 10 Almasiga, 10 Acacia, 10 Yakal, 10 Molave, 10 Banaba, and of course, to my advisory class, grade 10 Jimilina.
Okay. Welcome, may we welcome also our grade 10 learners from 10 SPJ, 10 Sinagtala, 10 Obra, 10 Mahogany, 10 Lawan, 10 Nara, 10 Tanggile, 10 Talisay, 10 Tindalo, and my advisory class, 10 Kamagong. Special greetings also to our fatherly officer in charge, the Chief Education Supervisor of the Division of Isabela, Sir Rodrigo V. Pascua, and to our hardworking assistant principal, Ma'am Ruby R. Guillermo.
Yes, special greetings also to our supervisory head in mathematics learning area, Mami Merlinda Dayao Dante, our very generous and supportive Mami.
Yes.
We would like also to extend our gratitude to the generous benefactor of Math Alive sa Facebook Live, Ma'am Larna Tan Nevado.
Thank you so much, Ma'am. And of course, we would like also to acknowledge the very hardworking and supportive technical specialist. Ang mga nagagapuhan ng mga specialist na kasama namin dito sa loob ng booth. Sir Joshel and Sir Dennis. Wow,
Yes.
nakita nyo naman, may ebidensya sa kanilang pictures.
We would like also to acknowledge the electronic raffle coordinators for today, Teacher Marley Jane Espiritu and Teacher Naida Mangabat.
At syempre, para mabuo ang ating session ngayon, may we welcome the discussants of today's session, the innovative Master Teacher 1 of Mathematics Learning Area. Okay. Teacher Maria Corazon Akpal Molina together with the very techy teacher Delma Ferrer Quaresma. She is also our Jamboard writer.
Yes, so let's have the Math Roleta question number 1. Ready na ba kayo, my dear learners? Okay,
so
don't forget,
ko,
ready na sila, Ma'am Marife?
Ready na sila.
So,
Kasi first live streaming natin
yes.
dito.
Okay, so don't forget to type your complete name, section, question number, and your answer to the comment box to have a chance of winning 30 peso worth of load. So the question number 1 is... Para hindi ko mabasa. Kaya natin yan.
Mas lalo hindi ko mababasa.
Okay, what is the leading coefficient of the polynomial function f of x equals 5x cubed plus 4x squared minus 4? I'll repeat. What is the leading coefficient of the polynomial function f of x equals 5x cubed plus 4x squared minus 4? A, negative 4, B, 2, C, 3, D, 5. So, comment na ang inyong mga sagot.
Okay, ano pang hinihintay ninyo, dear learners? I-type na ang iyong tamang sagot with your complete name, section, question number, and of course, your correct answer para makasama ka sa first 10 na mairaraffle mamaya.
Yes.
At manalo ka ng 30 peso worth of load sponsored by Ma'am Larna Tan Nevado. Okay, so this time, may we have now the airing of the RBI lesson titled Illustrations and Evaluations of Polynomial Functions.
Precalculus,
Advanced Algebra,
Intermediate Algebra, Trigonometry,
Elementary Algebra,
Geometry, mga aralin na dapat tuklasin.
Mathematics Learning Area,
Mathematics, kahit saan, kahit kailan.
Mathematics maaasahan.
Inyong tututukan dito sa
106.3
Dance Radio.
Learning is amazing! A blessed and a healthy day, grade 10 learners! I am your radio teacher, Teacher Rowella S. Santos. Once again, I will be with you for another fruitful day after the holiday season. Are you ready, my dear learners?
Yes, ma'am!
Before we proceed to our lesson, let me give you some reminders. You can jot down important points on your paper as we go on with the discussion, and most importantly, you must listen attentively for better understanding of the lesson. Is it clear, dear learners?
Yes, ma'am!
Can you still remember our last RBI lesson during the first quarter, dear learners?
Yes, ma'am!
What is it all about?
Ma'am, it's all about illustrations and solutions of polynomial equations.
That's right! First, we talked about how a polynomial equation is illustrated and how it is written in a standard form. Let's see if you can still recall our past lessons. Write this polynomial equation in a sheet of paper. Negative 4 plus x cubed minus 4x plus x squared equals 0. What is the standard form of negative 4 plus x cubed minus 4x plus x squared equals 0? Ready? Go, go, go!
The standard form is x cubed plus x squared minus 4x minus 4 equals 0, ma'am.
Exactly! The standard form of the polynomial equation, negative 4 plus x cubed minus 4x plus x squared equals 0 is x cubed plus x squared minus 4x minus 4 equals 0. What do you think is the leading term and the leading coefficient?
The leading term is x cubed, ma'am, and the leading coefficient is 1.
Good job! X cubed is the leading term because it contains the highest degree of the polynomial equation. Its numerical coefficient is 1, which is the leading coefficient. Did you get it right, dear learners?
Yes, ma'am!
Given the same polynomial equation, which is the constant term?
The constant term is negative 4, ma'am.
That's correct. The constant term is negative 4. Now, how do we solve polynomial equations? Can you name the different methods in solving polynomial equations?
Ma'am, a polynomial equation can be solved by applying the fundamental theorem of algebra, the zero product property, the factor theorem, the remainder theorem, and the synthetic division.
Very good! Using any of these methods, you will get the same values of x in any polynomial equation. Now, you are given few minutes to solve the polynomial equation x cubed plus x squared minus 4x minus 4 equals 0 using any of the methods. We shall be back after a short break.
Nangangamba baka magka-COVID?
Huwag mag-alala. Narito ang mga tips upang makaiwas sa COVID-19.
Una, social distancing. Umiwas muna sa matataong lugar. Huwag lumabas ng bahay kung hindi naman kinakailangan. Kung may distansya, safe ka!
Ikalawa, panatilihing malinis ang katawan.
Ugaliin ang paghugas ng kamay.
Sabon at alkohol are real. Palakasin ang katawan.
At vitamins ay huwag kalilimutan.
At ikatlo, laging magsuot ng face mask bilang proteksyon laban sa virus. Kung protektado, siguradong sa virus ay negatibo.
Mga kapatid, tips ay tandaan upang COVID-19 ay maiwasan.
Isang paalala mula sa Tonyong Aurora National High School at ng himpilang ito.
Alright, we're back, dear learners. I think you are now ready with your answers. What solutions did you use for the polynomial equation x cubed plus x squared minus 4x minus 4 equals 0?
Ma'am, I used the synthetic division. The solutions to the equation or the values of x are negative 1, negative 2, and positive 2.
Did you get the same values, dear learners?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good! You are all correct! The solutions of the polynomial equation x cubed plus x squared minus 4x minus 4 equals 0 are negative 1, negative 2, and 2. You really learned a lot! Keep up the good work, dear learners! The concepts and skills you had just learned in our previous lesson is of great help for you to understand our lesson for today's episode. Because you are going to illustrate polynomial functions, write a polynomial function in its standard form, and evaluate a polynomial function. Class, let's start our session today with a simple game. Just insert a word or a phrase to give meaning to the statement. Are you ready, my dear learners?
Yes, ma'am!
Alright, here is number 1. To eat much food is to gain blank. I repeat, to eat much food is to gain blank. Ready? Go, go, go!
To eat much food is to gain weight, ma'am.
Very good! That is expected this Christmas vacation. It means when food intake increases, the body weight also increases. Likewise, when food intake decreases, the body weight also decreases. Number 2. Giving more time to study means getting a blank. Again, giving more time to study means getting a blank. Ready? Go, go, go!
Giving more time to study means getting a better grade, ma'am.
That's right! You need more time to study your lessons, especially in the new normal, to get higher or better grades. Here is the last statement. Applying more farm inputs to plants is harvesting good farm blank. Again, applying more farm inputs to plants is harvesting good farm blank. Ready? Go, go, go!
Ma'am, applying more farm inputs to plants is harvesting good farm outputs.
Exactly! For a farmer to harvest a better yield, he has to put more farm inputs to his plants. In the last statement, we encountered the words inputs and outputs. Inputs and outputs are two quantities. In a polynomial function, we deal with two quantities or variables. They are the input x and the output y. In our previous episode, you learned how to write a polynomial equation in one variable. This time, we consider the variables x and y so that the polynomial equation becomes a polynomial equation in two variables and we call it a polynomial function. Turn your learning activity sheets on page 2. How is a polynomial function being defined, dear learners?
Ma'am, a polynomial function is a polynomial equation in two variables, x and y, or p of x. It is defined by the equation p of x is equal to a sub n x raised to n plus a sub n minus 1 x raised to n minus 1 plus a sub n minus 2 x raised to n minus 2 plus plus a sub 1 x plus a sub 0.
Yes, it is right! In this equation, the dependent variable y is denoted by p of x. The standard form of a polynomial function is p of x equals a sub n x raised to n plus a sub n minus 1 x raised to n minus 1 plus a sub n minus 2 x raised to n minus 2 plus and so on and so forth plus a sub 1 x plus a sub 0 where a sub n minus 1, a sub n minus 2 and so forth, a sub 2, a sub 1, and a sub 0 are real numbers. A sub n is not equal to 0 and n is a positive integer which is the degree of the polynomial function. The leading term is a sub n x raised to n. The leading coefficient is a sub n. And the constant term is a sub 0. Take note, a polynomial function p of x written with its terms arranged according to descending powers of x is said to be in the standard form. To simplify the definition, let us examine the two examples found on page 2 of your learning activity sheets. Number 1. F of x equals 5x cubed minus 2x squared plus 7x minus 4. state the reason why this polynomial function is written in a standard form.
Ma'am, the terms are arranged in the descending powers of the variable x. 3, 2, 1, and 0.
You got it right! What else can you say about the polynomial function f of x equals 5x cubed minus 2x squared plus 7x minus 4?
The degree is 3, the leading term is 5x cubed, the leading coefficient is 5, and the constant term is negative 4, ma'am.
Great job! Let's have the second polynomial function. Tell whether the polynomial function is written in a standard form or not. Be ready with your answers for some questions after a short break.
COVID-19 has caused loss of lives and economic hardship all over the world. It has changed our habits and the way we live while testing our public health systems and impacting on our livelihoods. With this, the role of environmental health practitioner has never been more vital as we face up to the ongoing challenges this pandemic. Many changes are about to happen for a greener environment, more equal and more stabilized economy. COVID-19 pandemic has resulted numerous impacts on the environment and climate. But amid this crisis, we have a chance to build a better community and environment. Hashtag healthy environment. Hashtag healthy community.
We're back, dear learners! Now, let us consider the second polynomial function g of x equals x cubed minus 2x raised to 5 plus 6 minus 4x squared plus x raised to 4. Is it written in a standard form and why?
It is not written in a standard form, ma'am, because the terms are not arranged according to the descending powers of x.
Wow! That is a good observation! What is the standard form of the polynomial function?
The standard form of the polynomial function g of x equals x cubed minus 2x raised to 5 plus 6 minus 4x squared plus x to the fourth is g of x equals negative 2x raised to 5 plus x to the fourth plus x cubed minus 4x squared plus 6, ma'am.
Perfect! The standard form of the polynomial function is g of x equals negative 2x raised to 5 plus x to the fourth plus x cubed minus 4x squared plus 6. What else can you say about this polynomial function?
Ma'am, it is a fifth degree polynomial function because the highest exponent of the variable x is 5 or the value of n is 5.
You are right! What about its leading term and coefficient?
The leading term is negative 2x raised to 5 since it contains the highest degree, and its leading coefficient is negative 2, ma'am.
That is correct! What is the constant term?
Ma'am, the constant term of the polynomial function is 6.
You are all good! Keep up the good work, dear learners! Now, let's move on to the evaluation of polynomial functions. How do we evaluate polynomial functions?
To evaluate a polynomial function, substitute the given value of x in the function, then express the result to simplest form to solve for p of x, ma'am.
That is right! let us consider the polynomial function f of x equals 3x cubed plus 2x squared minus 5x plus 34 f of negative 2 and for f of 3 on page 3 of your learning activity sheets. Please be attentive.
Yes, ma'am!
To evaluate f of x equals 3x squared plus 2x squared minus 5x plus 30 for f of 2, simply substitute every variable x by negative 2 in the equation. So we have f of negative 2 equals 3 times negative 2 cubed plus 2 times negative 2 squared minus 5 times negative 2 plus 30. Then, simplifying it, we have f of negative 2 equals 3 times negative 8 plus 2 times 4 plus 10 plus 30. Simplifying it further, we have f of negative 2 equals 3 times negative 8 plus 2 times 4 plus 40. Express the final result in simplest form so that f of negative 2 equals 24. The value of the polynomial function f of x equals 3x cubed plus 2x squared minus 5x plus 30 at x equals negative 2 is 24. Can you follow, dear learners?
Yes, ma'am!
Well, I hope so. Your next task is to evaluate the same polynomial function f of x equals 3x cubed plus 2x squared minus 5x plus 30 at x equals 3. Answers will be checked after a short reminder.
Naku! Malapit na ang pasahan ng outputs!
Retrieval time na naman. Narito ang mga dapat mong tandaan sa pagpasa ng outputs mo, Kadonyan.
Tiyaking nakasulat ang iyong pangalan sa bawat subject na iyong ipapasa.
Oops! Huwag ding kalimutang isulat ang iyong seksyon kung saan ka kabilang.
Mahalagang lagyan din ng label na Week 1,
Week 2, 3 o 4 ang iyong outputs kung anong aralin
at bilang nito upang malaman ng guro kung kumpleto ang iyong ipinasang outputs sa bawat linggo. Kadonyan!
Kung maaari, isulat din ang pangalan ng iyong guro sa bawat subject.
Kung may color coding, sundin ito upang madaling malaman ng iyong advisor at maibigay sa tamang guro.
Paghiwalayin ang mga sagutang papel sa bawat subject.
Huwag paghaluin ang iyong mga sagot sa dalawang subject sa iisang papel.
Kung masusunod mo ang mga ito, tiyak ang mga guro ay hindi malilito.
Sa pagpasa ng mga outputs, tiyaking maayos at organisado.
Ayusin ang output batay sa mga sumusunod na bawat aralin.
Una, sagot ng mga gawain. Pangalawa, refleksyon.
Pangatlo, lingguang pagtataya.
At pang-apat, summative test kung mayroon.
Isang paalala mula sa pamunuan ng Tonya Aurora National High School at ng istasyong ito.
We're back! Can you share your solutions?
Ma'am, I substituted the variable x, which is 3 in the equation. So I have f of 3 is equal to 3 times 3 to the third power plus 2 times 3 to the second power minus 5 times 3 plus 30. I simplified the exponential expressions and it becomes f of 3 is equal to 3 times 27 plus 2 times 9 minus 15 plus 30. Then, f of 3 is equal to 81 plus 18 minus 15 plus 30. Simplifying it, my answer is f of 3 is equal to 114, ma'am.
Excellent! You got it right, my dear learners! In the given polynomial function, our first input or first value of x is negative 2. and the obtained output or value of f of x is only 24. Our second input or second given value of x is positive 3, and we obtain the second output or value of f of x, which is 114. This observation is a proof that outputs depend on the number of inputs, or the values of the polynomial function p of x depends on the given value of x.
Ma'am, I also observed that a polynomial function in factored form can also be evaluated by substitution.
Yes, that is true. We can also evaluate polynomial function in factored form by substitution. On page 3 of your learning activity sheets, evaluate f of x equals quantity x plus 1 times quantity x plus 2 times quantity x minus 4 at x equals 2. Using substitution, evaluate f of x equals quantity x plus 1 times quantity x plus 2 times quantity x minus 4 at x equals 2. Ready? Go, go, go!
Ma'am, substituting x with 2, f of x equals quantity x plus 1, quantity x plus 2, quantity x minus 4. I got f of 2 equals quantity 2 plus 1, quantity 2 plus 2, quantity 2 minus 4. Simplifying it, f of 2 equals 3 times 4 times negative 2. And by performing the indicated operation, f of 2 equals negative 24. Did I get it right, ma'am?
Exactly! And you had explained very well. Any question, dear learners?
None, ma'am.
Thank you, dear learners, for the amazing performance. You may continue answering activities 2 and 3 titled Tell Me More About Poly and Evaluate Me on page 3 of your learning activity sheets after this episode. Now, let's have the summary of what we have done today. Can you share what you have learned today?
Ma'am, I was refreshed on how to write a polynomial function in its standard form, on how to identify the degree n, the leading term, the leading coefficient, and the constant term in a given polynomial function.
Wow, that's nice to hear. What else?
I learned that a polynomial function is a polynomial equation in two variables, x and y, or p of x.
Thank you, dear learner. Any more?
I learned how to evaluate a polynomial function by substitution and polynomial functions in factored form, ma'am.
Wow! You did a good job, dear learners! May we now have a simple assessment to know whether you really understood the lesson or not. Please write this polynomial function on a sheet of paper. F of x equals 3x plus 1 plus x cubed plus 3x squared. Again, f of x equals 3x plus 1 plus x cubed plus 3x squared. Do the following. Number 1. Write it in the standard form. Number 2. Identify the degree, the leading term, the leading coefficient, and the constant term. Number 3. Evaluate the given polynomial function at x equals negative 1. Can you repeat the directions, dear learners?
Number 1, write it in standard form, ma'am.
Number 2. Identify the degree, the leading term, the leading coefficient, and the constant term, ma'am.
Number 3, Evaluate the given polynomial function at x equals -1, ma'am.
Very good! We are going to check your work after a short reminder.
Uy, Pedro! Nagpabakuna ka na ba?
Oo naman, Petra. Bakunado na yata to. Dapat ang bawat isa ay mahikayat ng magpabakuna. Bata, matanda, tara na!
Tama ka dyan, Pedro! Kung may bakuna, siguradong protektado tayo laban sa virus. Kaya magpapavaksin na rin ako.
Tandaan, magpabakuna. Siguradong protektado ka.
Isang paalala mula sa Tonya Aurora National High School at ng himpilang ito.
We're back! Are you done? Yes, ma'am. Alright. It seems you are excited to give your answers. Here we go! What is the standard form of the polynomial function f of x equals 3x plus 1 plus x cubed plus 3x squared?
It is f of x is equal to x cubed plus 3x squared plus 3x plus 1, ma'am.
You got it right! It is f of x equals x cubed plus 3x squared plus 3x plus 1. What about the degree, the leading term, the leading coefficient, and the constant term?
Ma'am, the degree of the polynomial function is 3. Its leading term is x cubed. The leading coefficient is 1. And its constant term is also 1.
Exactly! Now, what is the value of the polynomial function at x equals -1?
Ma'am, at x equals -1, the value of f of x equals x cubed plus 3x squared plus 3x plus 1 is equal to 0.
You got it right! Did you get the same answers, dear learners?
Yes, ma'am!
Congratulations, dear learners!
Thank you, ma'am, for the very informative session today.
Now, before we end up, let me share this inspiring quote by Timothy Pina for you to reflect on, which goes this way. Believing in yourself is always the X factor in the equation of achieving greatness. I repeat, believing in yourself is always the X factor in the equation of achieving greatness. Can you share what this quotation means to you?
Ma'am, I believe that the X factors I have are my patience and my determination to study very well, even though my parents cannot assist me because they are working in the fields the whole day.
That's great, my dear learner! Being patient and determined to study well will lead you to get high grades. Any more?
Ma'am, believing in myself that I can pass all my subjects and can complete and finish grade 10 even though I am a working student.
Wow! You are amazing, dear learner! You can inspire your classmates to believe in themselves to be successful. Wow! We're done! You did a great job, grade 10 learners! Congratulations to all of you! As we end our session today, I would like to acknowledge the teachers behind this RBI lesson. Teacher Maria Corazon A. Molina, our script writer. Teacher Rufino R. Pomeda Jr. and Teacher Mardy C. De La Cruz, our technical specialists. Teacher Vicente S. Rodriguez, our language editor. Ma'am Merlinda D. Dante, Head Teacher 5, Mathematics Learning Area, our content editor. And I am Teacher Rowella S. Santos, your radio teacher, reminding you this quote by Timothy Pina. Believing in yourself is always the X factor in the equation of achieving greatness. Thank you very much and stay tuned to our live discussion following up next. Goodbye!
Precalculus,
Advanced Algebra,
Intermediate Algebra, Trigonometry,
Elementary Algebra,
Geometry, mga aralin na dapat tuklasin.
Mathematics Learning Area,
Mathematics, kahit saan, kahit kailan.
Mathematics Maaasahan,
Inyong tututukan dito sa
106.3
Dance Radio.
Learning is amazing!
Dance Radio, siniharalan sa radyo, hatid namin makabago, paraan ang pagtuturo.
Wala nang makakapigil pa. Sulong Arangkada 106.3 Dance Radio sa Aurora, Isabela.
Edukasyo'y susulong, basta magtulong-tulong, sulong edukalidad. Dance Radio, learning is amazing.
Yes, we're back. Thank you for still tuning in to Math Alive sa Facebook Live. The RPI discussed the polynomial functions. To know more about polynomial functions, please keep tuning in and listen to our discussions for today. May we call on the Master Teacher 1 of Math Learning Area, Teacher Maria Corazon A. Molina, and Teacher Delma F. Quaresma to review the polynomial functions and to discuss the learning competencies of today's session. Take it away, Teacher Cora and Teacher Delma.
Thank you, Ma'am Marilyn and Ma'am Marife. Slides, Ma'am.
Yan.
Okay. So, for the review, we have just had our RBI while ago. And from our RBI episode today, you have learned to illustrate polynomial functions, identify the degree, the leading term, the leading coefficient, and the constant term of a polynomial function, and of course, you were able to write polynomial functions in standard form. Okay? For our learning competencies today, Ma'am Delma?
Okay, so what shall we learn today? Our learning objectives for today, we have two. Number 1 is to find the zeros of a polynomial function, and number 2, describe and interpret graphs of polynomial functions. Yan. So those are the things that you're going to learn today during our live discussion. So I hope, mga anak, learning objectives natin sa ating live discussion for today.
Back to you, Ma'am Marife.
Yes, thank you, Teacher Delma and Teacher Cora. Okay, now let's have the first 10 who got the correct answer. Okay, actually marami sila. Siguro may mga 50 na nakakuha ng tamang sagot. Pero syempre, yung mabilis talaga, yung unang 10 na nakakuha ng tamang sagot ang mabibigyan ng chance na makasali sa ating Math Roleta Raffle. Okay. So, congratulations! The answer is letter D. Okay, the answer is letter D. So, congratulations to Crystal Joy Padaong of 10 Tintado. Wow! Juliana Rico Hermoso. Tama? Okay. 10 of 10 si Nagtala. Igilin
Gerardo
of 10 Banaba. Patrick Moral of 10 Nara. Danica Blas of 10 Rutherford. Ann Jasmine de la Peña, syempre akin yan, 10 Camagong. Cyril Feliciano of 10 SPJ. Marian Garcia of 10 Almasiga,
Yay!
Benalyn Dolor of 10 Jimena,
Yay!
and of course, Adonis Vigilia of 10 Medellin. So, spin na natin. Tingnan natin kung sinong mananalo. Unang mananalo ng 30 pesos worth of load is sponsored by Ma'am Larna Tan Nevado.
Congratulations, Cristel Padaong of 10 Tindalo. So let's have the math roleta question number 2. Okay, the roleta question number 2 is, which one is the C, positive 2, or D, 4. So this time, may we call on once again Teacher Cora and Teacher Thelma to discuss the zeros of polynomial functions. Go, go.
So this time, we will talk about the zeros of polynomial functions.
Yes.
Okay? What are the zeros of a polynomial functions? If p of x is a polynomial function and c is a number such that p of c is equal to 0, then c is a zero of p of x. So we will apply here the remainder theorem that if the remainder is 0, then c is a zero of the polynomial function. If x minus c is a factor, then x minus c is x equals c is a root of p of x. The value of x or the solution of the polynomial is a root of p of x. Next. Okay. How do we find the zeros of polynomial functions? Finding the roots of a polynomial equation is the same as finding the zeros of a polynomial function, and you may apply any of the following methods which were discussed previously. Okay, one is using the fundamental theorem of algebra, using the zero product property, the factor theorem and the remainder theorem, and of course, the synthetic division. Ang pinakamadali dyan para sa akin ay ang synthetic division. Now, we have some illustrative examples. So, let's have number 1. Isa nga pala. Okay. Find the zeros of f of x is equal to x cubed plus 4x squared plus x minus 6. Since n is 3, then there are at most 3 zeros of the given polynomial functions. Ano nga ito? Okay? As I have said a while ago, I will use the synthetic division. Sa akin kasi mas madali yan. Okay. But before that, let us identify the numerical coefficients, and they are 1, 4, 1, and negative 6. Using the synthetic division, we are going to write these numerical coefficients in a row. So we have there on the screen. And then, of course, we will divide this by a value taken from the constant term which is negative 6. Take note the factors or possible factors of negative 6 are positive negative 1, positive negative 2, positive negative 3, and positive negative 6. So, itry natin ang positive 1. Okay? Let us divide by positive 1. We bring down 1, and then 1 times 1 is 1. Ilagay natin down. 4 plus 1 is 5. Then, multiply 5 by 1 is 5. 1 plus 5 is, 6. 6 times 1 is positive 6. And add, that is 0. Ayan yung red doon. Okay. Since P of C or P of 1 is equal to 0, then we will conclude that 1 is a zero of the given polynomial polynomial. So, meron na tayo nahanap na isa, 1 ang una. Dahil nag-0 yung remainder. Okay, let us continue. The last row contains 1, 5, and 6. Anyway, we can use already the quadratic equation by factoring, but I want to still continue synthetic. Okay, you bring down 1. Ang 6 doon, ang constant term. Ngayon, ang payo ko sa inyo, huwag kayong gagamit ng positive value kapag puro positive ang mga ito. 1, 5, and 6 are all positive numbers. Okay? Gagamit tayo ng negative para may ma-eliminate tayo. So, 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. Add, that is 2. Multiply again, negative 6. You add, that is 0. Nag-0 yung remainder. Therefore, f of negative 3 is, okay, f of negative 3 is equal to 0. Therefore, anong tawag natin ngayon sa negative 3 natin? That is a0 of p of x. Now, the last line, last row contains 1 and 2. Ito na yung monomial natin. So, x plus 2 is equated with 0. Therefore, negative 2 is a 0. Ngayon, ano yung tatlong zeros ngayon? Okay? The zeros of f of x are 1, negative 3, and negative 2. And these are also called, or the values of x that were obtained while ago are what we call the roots. 1, negative 3, and negative 2. And then from there, we can get the x-intercepts. The x-intercepts are 1, 0, negative 3, 0, and negative 2, 0. And of course, the y-intercept is 0, negative 6. Okay? Yung negative 6 doon, yun yung constant term. Right. Now, for the second illustration, may we have Ma'am Delma using her Jamboard. Take it away, Ma'am Del.
Yan. Thank you, Ma'am Cora. So, for our second example here, we're going to solve for the zeros of x cubed minus 4x squared plus x plus 6. So, we're going to use our Jamboard. So, plus 6 minus 6. Plus 6. X cubed minus 4x squared plus x plus 6. Yan. Tama ba? So, bakit ballpen? Mali sa ano natin kanina? Sa PowerPoint? Minus 6 ba dito? Plus 6. O, tama. So, let's solve that one now. X cubed, I repeat, our given is x cubed minus 4x squared plus x plus 6. So, sabi nga ni Ma'am Cora a while ago, we're going to use synthetic division kasi mas convenient siya. So, with the given, let's identify the numerical coefficients. We have 1, negative 4, 1, and 6. Now, from the constant, anong factors ng 6? Yan ang gagamitin natin na pang-multiply dito. So, let's try negative 1. Yan. Kapag ang nakuha nating remainder ay 0, then that means yung ginamit natin is actually a 0 or a root of the given function. Take note mga anak ha, may iba-ibang alias si zeros kasi. 0 o kaya root, pareho lang yon. Okay, so synthetic division na natin. 1, we bring down the first term, 1, then we multiply. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. Negative 4 times negative 1 is negative 5. Times negative 1 is positive 5. 1 plus 5 is positive 6. Positive 6 times negative 1 is negative 6. So we have remainder 0. So ibig sabihin, negative 1 is actually a root of the given function. Now we continue. Ngayon, sabi ni Ma'am Cora, pwede din to if you are, kung gamay nyong mag-factor ng quadratic equation, pwede din naman. Or, you continue dividing. So, let's have positive 2. So, 1 You will bring down 1, then multiply. This is 2. Negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. So our remainder is 0. So again, since our remainder is 0, given function. Take note this one. You can now write the third root, which is positive 3. So, isulat natin ha. The roots are, so the roots or zeros are negative 1, positive 2, and positive 3. Yan. So, that's it for our polynomial x cubed minus 4x squared plus x plus 6. The zeros or the roots of this polynomial function is negative 1, positive 2, and positive 3. Now, etong roots ito kayo ha. Pag factor form ito ay x plus 1, x minus 2, eto x minus 3. Pero pag roots na siya, eto yung values natin. Negative 1, positive 2, and positive 3. That's it for ready na ba?
So, eto na ang unang 10 na nakakuha ng tamang sagot. Okay. Thank you, Teacher Delma and Teacher Cora. Kung nakinig kayong mabuti, marami kayong matututunan. Okay. So, congratulations to JC Marie Tabago of 10 Rutherford, Jesslyn Langido of 10 Obra, Ryan Ignacio of 10 Mahogany, Stephanie Villano of 10 Einstein. Of course, sa akin yun, Ryan Ignacio of 10 Mahogany. Oh. Andrea Micaela Sugitan of 10 Kamagong. Agin ulit yan. Okay. Mickey Castro Eugenio of 10 Einstein, John Marianuario of 10 Tanggile, Jorna Jamaica Castro of 10 Mendeleev, Jairo Emmanuel Sales of 10 Einstein, and Clarice May Tabios of 10 Tindalo. Okay! So all of you, congratulations! Okay, tingnan natin. Sino ka na ang papalad na mananalo ng 30 pesos worth of load?
Yung position ni Sir Kapagalan din ako, Sir.
Ayan na. Congratulations to Clarice May Tabios. Okay, of 10 Tindalo. Congratulations. Bakit pa sinaswerte si Mami ko? Kanina, yung estudyante niya number 1. Ngayon number 10. Makakaya ako naman number 5.
Hindi, feeling ko ano yan, Einstein, Newton, or Rutherford.
Okay, tingnan natin. Okay, congratulations sa inyong 10 and of course, congratulations kay Clarice May Tabios.
So, ang sagot ay?
Ang sagot ay letter B, negative 2. Okay, sige. Pwede na ba nating ibigay ang ikatlong tanong, Teacher Marilyn?
Okay, yes ma'am. Congratulations. Almasiga, nasa na kayo? Jimelina and Acacia. Na-late yata yung sagot nila. Okay, let's have Inclusive Learning and section. Okay, so let's welcome once again our discussants for today. Teacher call.
Ayan. So, we're functions. So, ang una mga anak, graphs of polynomial functions are continuous. So, nakikita natin dito sa presentation, yung incorrect graphing, walang sharp na portion ng ating graph for polynomial function. Ang description ko nito noon ay paalon-alon. Yan. Alon-alon, parang isaw lang. Hindi. Parang isaw ang drawing niya. So, or the right end behavior of the graph. What can we say about the right end behavior of the graph? Ito yung dapat nyong tandaan ha, kasi para hindi kayo malito when you sketch the graph later on. Number 1, if the leading coefficient a sub n of the polynomial function is positive, then the right-hand side of the graph will rise towards positive infinity. So, if the leading coefficient is positive, then the right-hand side of the graph will rise towards positive infinity. So, yung kanang bahagi ay pataas. Yun ang tatandaan. Kapag positive yung leading coefficient, ang kanang bahagi ay pataas. So, kagaya ng ating mga graph dito sa examples natin. Okay. Number 2. If the leading coefficient a sub n of the polynomial function is negative, then the right-hand side of the graph will fall to... So, kung yung kanan ay pataas, yung kabila, yung left side naman niya ay okay. So, tandaan yun ha. If the polynomial function is, the leading coefficient of the polynomial function is negative, then the right-hand side of the graph will fall towards negative infinity. Pababa yung kaliwa. Ay, right. Kanan. Yan. Degree of the polynomial or the left-hand behavior of the graph. Number 1. Na positive, negative, hindi na quadratic yan, to the fourth quartic yan, and ito ay, ilan to? 1, 6 ba, mami? Ayan. Number 2, if the degree n of a polynomial function is odd, another, yan, ends of each graph have opposite trends. So, kapag even, okay, so, we have here the graph para ma-summarize natin. Yan.
Yung first coefficient, degree niya ay even. Ang illustration ay ito. So, pataas pareho kasi nga even. Positive, yung kanan ay pataas. And behaviors of the graph rises to the right and rises to the left. Or, the graph rises on both sides. So, pataas pareho. What about so, hindi the graph function, alam nyo na kung ano ang trend niya sa kanan at sa kaliwa. Will it fall? Will it rise? To what direction? Yan ang ating graphs of polynomial functions. So, I hope with this example illustrations. Okay, I think are we Math Roleta number 3? Answer na ba to? Yes!
So much, Teacher Cora and Teacher Delma, sa napakaliwanag na pagpapaliwanag, detalyadong pagpapaliwanag. Diba? Pag hindi pa naintindihan ng mga bata, ewan ko na lang kung saan sila mafo-fall.
Yes, walang rason.
Okay, so congratulations. The answer is letter B. So, congratulations to Shakira Javier of 10 Mendeleev, Jasmine Medina of 10 Einstein, Nadia Tendido of 10 Mendeleev, Jairo Emmanuel Sales of 10 Einstein, Alwin Bernardo of 10 Mendeleev, Eliza Juan of 10 Mendeleev, Crystal Joy Padaong of 10 Tindalo, Andrea Micaela Sugitan of 10 Camagong, Eliza Camille Alejandro of 10. Okay, tulungan niyo ako kasi ang bilis dumaan ka agad. Hindi na nakita kung ano yung kanya. Okay, hindi nahuli ka agad. Okay. And Jules Daniel Bernardo of 10 Rutherford. Okay, congratulations sa inyong 10. Okay, tignan natin kung sino ang papalari na manalo sa ating roleta
number 3.
Okay, spin na natin.
Ayan na.
Spin na natin. Tignan natin kung sino ang mananalo ng 30 pesos worth of load.
Ayan!
Of Santa Rita. Yes, 10 Mendeleev. Okay. Congratulations, Nadia. Okay, now may we have the question number 4.
Okay, the Math Roleta question number 4. Next na po, describe the end behavior of the graph of f of x equals 3x cubed minus x plus 1. A. it rises to the right and falls to the left. B, the graph rises to the right. C, the graph kasi nakinig sila sa discussion kanina, di ba? So let's proceed or continue the discussion of graphs of polynomial functions by the active Master Teacher 1 of Math Learning Area, Teacher Mark Corazon A. Molina, and energetic Teacher Delma F. Quaresma.
Thank you again, Ma'am Marilyn. So we proceed with the graphing of a polynomial function. Let us consider the graph of f of x equals quantity x plus 3, quantity x plus 1 times quantity x minus 1 times quantity x minus 3, where a sub n or the leading coefficient is positive 1 and n is equal to 4, which is even. Paano nakuha yung leading term? Okay, ay leading coefficient. Just multiply the variable x, x times x times x times x will be x to the 4th. And the numerical coefficient or leading coefficient is 1, and the degree or the value of n is 4, which is even. Here are 5 easy steps on how to graph the polynomial function. Unang-una, alamin muna natin kung ano yung end behavior ng graph. Paano? Since a sub n or the leading coefficient is positive, and n or the degree is even, the graph will rise to the right, or the graph rises to the right and it rises to the left. Okay? Next, number 2, find the zeros of the x-intercepts of the graph. So, how do we find the zeros? Madali lang kasi naka-factored form. The zeros are, what are they? From x plus 3, x is negative 3. From x plus 1, x is negative 1. From x minus 1, x is 1. And from x minus 3, x is equal to 3. So the zeros or the roots are negative 3, negative 1, positive 1, and positive 3. Okay, kunin natin ngayon ang x-intercepts. What are the x-intercepts? Kasi nakakatulong sila. The x-intercepts are negative 3, 0, negative 1, 0, 1, 0, and 3, 0. Okay. Step number 3 na tayo. Find the y-intercept. What is the y-intercept? The y-intercept is 9. Paano nakuha yung 9? Nakikita ninyo yung 3, positive 1, negative 1, negative 3. You multiply this, you will get positive 9. So, the y-intercept is 0, 9. Now, let's move on to the graphing. Paano natin sila ito i-graph? Next slide, Ma'am Del. Okay? Right, yan na yung summary. The table shows that we have the zeros, the x-intercept, the y-intercept, and the number of turning points. Paano natin nakukuha yung number of turning points? Okay? Ang pagliko. Ang n natin ay 4, the degree is 4, magmaminus tayo ng isa, so magiging 3 na lang. Makikita nyo mamaya sa graph. Okay? By using the x-intercepts, we will now plot the first point. Yan, nakita nyo. Negative 3, 0 yan. Next, negative 1, 0. Next is 1, 0, pangatlo. At ang pang-apat is 3, 0. Yan na yung mga x-intercepts natin. Nakikita natin sila sa x-axis. Alright, now we have the y-intercept. The y-intercept is 0, 9. So, nandun sa itaas. That is 0.09. Alright. Let us now draw the graph. It rises to the left, it rises to the right, it opens upward. So, ito na yung graph natin. Ayun. Medyo sexy lang. Bala na kayo sa interpretation. Ano? Okay. Now, where are the turning points? Ito yung mga liko-liko. Yan. Isa. Pangalawa, nandun. At ang pangatlo, ayun. Tatlo sila. There are 3 turning points. Bakit nagpataas yan? Pataas yung graph kasi ang A natin or ang leading coefficient natin ay positive at ang at ang exponent or degree natin is 4. Okay? So, it opens upward. Alright, that is the graph of the first polynomial function. Okay? So, our second, may time pa ba? Okay, for Ma'am Delma to do the Jamboard activity.
Okay, so for our second example, let's have this function f of x is equal to x cubed plus 2x squared minus x minus 2. So we're going to describe and sketch its graph. So I'll be using, ay nakita nila. So, pen, yan. We're going to sketch the graph of x cubed plus 2x squared minus x minus 2. Kaya lang kailangan muna nating hanapin ang zeros of the function. So, synthetic division muna tayo. So, what are the numerical coefficients? 1, 2, negative 1, and negative 2. Since ang constant natin ay negative 2, si 1. Ang factors ni 2 ay 1 and 2 lang, positive, negative yan. So, itry natin si positive 1. Yan. Bring down 1 times 1 is 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. 1 times 3 is 3. Negative 1 plus 3 is positive 2 times 1 is positive 2, 0. Yehey! So, nahanapan na natin yung unang root niya or zero niya. Let's continue. Yung sabi ni Ma'am Cora, down 1, negative 1, 3 and negative 1, that's positive 2 times negative 1 is negative 2, 0. So we have, if we write it as factors, then that is x minus 1 times x plus 1, x plus 2. So from this, what are the zeros? So these are the zeros or the roots of our function. Okay. Punta tayo. What is the degree of our polynomial? We have 3. So, odd kapag odd, the graph, ipa-plot mo na 2, 0. Dito kasi negative 1, negative 2. So, ang 1, so, paano? Lagyan muna natin ng mark. Ayan. And then, i-cross niya si negative 1. Magko-cross din siya sa 1. So, that is this is negative 2. Negative 2 yan. Okay, the graph to 4 Right. It crosses the x-axis at points -2, -1, and +1. So, yaan po ang squared minus x minus 2. Okay, I hope mga anak, let's see.
Teacher Delmen, Teacher Cora, napaka-active, lalo na itong grade 10 na ito. Teacher Cora and Teacher Delma. Okay, eto na. The answer is letter C. Congratulations to Tiffany Villano of 10 Einstein, Andrea Micaela Sugitan of 10 Camagong, John D. De La Cruz of 10 Rutherford, Jules Daniel Bernardo of 10 Rutherford, Aisel Guzman of 10 Einstein, Juliana Martinez of 10 Einstein.
Walang sound.
Arlene Sabado of 10 Lawan, Angela Grace Asuncion of 10 Einstein, Vanna Alexa Santillan
Meron naman.
of 10 Einstein, and Jeshlyn Lazaro of 10 Obra. Okay. Spin na natin at tignan natin kung sino mananalo ng 30 pesos worth of load. Sponsored by Ma'am Lorna Tan Nevado. Okay. Tandararan. Jules Daniel Bernardo. Congratulations. Dapat ayaw niya? Anong nanalo? Ang nanalo.
Congratulations!
Okay. Sige. Ibigay na natin ang panglimang tanong at syempre kung maubusan tayo ng oras sa panglimang tanong na yan, ang tanong na yan ay masasagot next week.
Yes.
Okay. Sige, tignan natin.
So the math ROLETA question number 5, find the y-intercept of f of x equals -x raised to 6 plus 3x cubed minus x plus 1. Find the y-intercept of f of x equals -x raised to the 6 plus raised to the 6th power plus 3x cubed minus x plus 1. A, -1, 0. B, 0, 1. C, 1, 0. Or D, 0, 0. So to give us the summary of today's session and the application of polynomial functions in real-life situations, may we call on once again our discussants for today, Teacher Cora and Teacher Delma.
For a very brief.
Brief.
What you see are the images which illustrate polynomial functions. So, McDo tayo, no? Yan ba yung daan papunta dito sa atin, sa Isabela? Yung mga arko-arko na yan at curve na yan.
Makakakita ka ng kutita pag ganyan ang daan.
Yan. For the summary in today's episode, Ma'am Cora.
Okay, in today's episode, you had learned that a polynomial if p of x is a polynomial function and c is a number such that p of x equals 0, then c is a 0 of p of x. If x minus c is a factor, then x minus c is a root of p of x. Finding the roots of a polynomial equation is finding the zeros of a polynomial function. Okay. You had also learned that a polynomial function can be graphed easily by using the LCT or leading coefficient test and its intercepts. The number of turning points is determined by subtracting 1 from the degree n. Okay. The leading coefficient test or from the right-hand behavior of the graph states that if the leading coefficient a sub n of the polynomial function is positive, then the right-hand side of the graph will rise towards infinity, positive infinity. And second, if the leading coefficient a sub n of the polynomial is negative, then the right-hand side of the graph will fall towards negative infinity. And for the degree of the polynomial, may sinasabi din ang degree for the left-hand behavior of the graph. Number 1, if the degree n of the polynomial function is even, the left-hand side of the graph will do the same as the right-hand side. And lastly, if the degree n of a polynomial function is odd, the left side will do the opposite of the right-hand side. Okay? Now, back to you.
Thank you so much, Teacher Cora. Alam mo, pag inuubo na si Sir Joshua, ibig sabihin, bilisan ninyo, sabi mo.
And the winners are...
So, walang nakakuha ng tamang sagot. So far, sa susunod na live streaming natin, yun ang una na, yun yung review na natin.
Yeah, yun na yung review natin.
Sige.
Okay.
So,
Ay, meron?
Ay, meron.
Ay, may humabol.
Wow.
Hindi na iraraffle yan.
Oo, kasi isa niya lang.
Yes. Yes.
Wow! Congratulations
Arlene
to
Sabado.
Arlene Sabado of Tenlawan.
Wow.
Sa akin yun.
Ay,
Arlene
nako.
Sabado of
Ay, nako.
Tenlawan.
Humabol siya.
The answer is letter
B.
Letter B. Okay. So, congratulations.
Sige na.
So, thank you so much, Teacher Cora and Teacher Delma.
We would like to thank also our production team, our technical specialist, Teacher Joshua Rizon Guillermo and Sir Dennis Mendoza, to our assistant principal, Ma'am Ruby Guillermo, and to our officer in charge, the Chief Education Supervisor of the Division of Isabela, Sir Rodrigo V. Pasqua. Thank you, sir.
Yes, special thanks also to our supervisory head, Ma'am Merlinda D. Dante, and to our learning facilitators, Teacher Delma F. Quaresma, our Jamboard writer, Teacher Marley Jane Espiritu, and Teacher Naida V. Mangabat, our electronic raffle organizers.
We would like also to acknowledge the RBI scriptwriter, discussant, and presentation designer of today's session, the Master Teacher 1 of Math Learning Area, Teacher Maria Corazon A. Molina. Nasa kanya na lahat. Okay, thank you also to my co-host, Teacher Marife F. Guillermo, and yours truly, Teacher Marilyn M. Juliano.
Thank you for joining and staying with us today. See you again next time on
Math Alive sa Facebook Live!
Bye! Stay safe, everyone!
Bye!
Salamat sa oras!
Pre-calculus, advanced algebra, intermediate algebra, trigonometry, elementary algebra, geometry, mga araling dapat tuklasin, mathematics learning area, mathematics kahit saan, kahit kailan, mathematics, maaasahan, inyong tututukan dito sa 106.3 DWDR-FM. Basta Dance Radio, learning is amazing! Ito ang 106.3 Dance Radio. Dance Radio.
Prepare yourself.
Ang silid-aralan sa radyo, hatid namin ay makabagong paraan ng pagtuturo at kalaman. Mapaumaga, tanghali o hapon man yan. Ang istasyong magbibigay impormasyon kahit saan man.
For something big. Alright, here we go.
106.3 Dance Radio. Doña Aurora National High School, Santa Rita, Aurora, Isabela. This 106.3 DWDR-FM.
Tila tumigil ang pag-ikot ng mundo dahil sa bantang dulot ng pandemyang COVID-19. Maraming establishmento at paaralan ang nagsara at ang tanong ng karamihan, paano maipagpapatuloy ang edukasyon sa gitna ng pandemya? Ngunit para sa kambal na sila Aslin at Asli, mga mag-aaral na nasa ikapitong baitang, sa kabila ng kawalan ng face-to-face classes, napakalaking tulong sa kanilang pagkatuto ang paggamit ng mga learning modules kasabay ng kanilang pakikinig sa mga araling iniere sa 106.3 FM Dance Radio.
Mas naunawaan at nasusundan ko po ang mga aralin na nasa learning activity sheets sa pamamagitan ng pakikinig ko sa mga talakayan